Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Charles here, and I'm just showing you the difference between the two Italian Navy 100% wool blankets that I purchased from the Sportsman's Guide. Now, I will be selling one of these, and just to spoil it, I'm going to sell the darker one on the right. On the left, you can see it's more of a royal blue with a little bit of red inside of the color. Pops out slightly more. Some of the differences you can see here is the anchor, and you can see the anchor on the darker one. So obviously the darker one, it's a little bit more defined with the anchor, but that's not a big deal. The dimensions of these, so on this one, the royal blue is 77 inches by 64.5 inches wide. On the darker one, it is 75 inches by 64.5. So they're very similar. Another difference is the one on the left weighs 7 pounds versus 6 pounds on the darker one. A small issue, or not issue, difference is this one they've used some kind of paint stamp on here, so this is for 321. I've not investigated if this is for a ship or a unit, but obviously you can see that is on there. Another difference would be, is it on the royal blue one? I do have a date on here, at least a year. This was made in 1986. I'm not sure if this other one was made earlier or later than the other. I'm leaning more towards made later, but I don't know. The royal blue was made in Spain. I think this is probably made in Spain too, but there's no markers, so I cannot confirm that. What's another difference? So the darker one on the left seems like it's tightly woven, slightly denser than the one on the right, and it seems slightly less itchy than the one on the right. And so I've slept with both of these, and it doesn't really bother me too much. I mean, I can feel a little bit of itchiness from both. Seems just slightly higher on the one on the right. Another difference between these two, you can kind of see on the edges here. So on the length of the royal blue, you can see some stitching in here along the length. You do not see it on the darker one. And I think that may just be because this is a little bit denser woven than the one on the right. But, I don't make blankets, so I'm not really sure if that's going to affect it or not. In general, they have this stitching on the edges just so that this thing does not, keeps its form a little bit better and does not allow these loose wool fibers to disintegrate and change the shape too much. Both of these I washed with Eucalan, which is made for wool, and it also has gosh, I can't even remember the name of it, but anyway, it comes from sheep, and it helps treat these things and refreshes the wax or the oil that comes from sheep on them, and help make it a little bit softer, because these things, are getting close to 40 years old. maybe more, because I don't know how old this is. But regardless, I just washed them in the machine using a hand wash, and then I air dried them just by hanging them out, and they both took about 2 days each just by doing it that way. I did not want to put it in the dryer, end up losing a lot of fibers, shrinking these. So that's what you're looking at when you're doing wool. And benefit with wool over synthetics is these things breathe much better. So I've slept with both of these, and sometimes if I overheat when the heater in my house goes on, these things don't allow me to overheat as much as synthetic blankets or things like that. Now, can you use these things for bushcrafting? Yes. Are they heavy? Yes. 6 pounds and 7 pounds is quite a bit. They kind of make up for their weight by their insulating properties, and also being very resistant to flame. It's not that you can't burn them, but if you get any embers or something like that around a fire, they're just not going to catch on fire immediately like polyester potentially would. Now, these colors are not the best colors for bushcrafting if you're trying to do like stealth camping or something like that, because it is blue, it's not a green. But I think these are quality items. If you take a look at a Sportsman's Guide, and I'm not sponsored by Sportsman's Guide at all. I pay for myself. But I think it's still a good value at the price they have these things at the moment. If you guys have any comments or questions, I will reply as soon as I can. And you have a good day. Bye-bye.